a test for me. The audio got cut off again. I talked about so much other stuff, but I'll just say this because I feel like it benefits you. I was talking about how, right, as human beings, we obviously, right, don't have proper punishments in jail, prisons, right, and that obviously you need to have different punishments for different crime, right? Just like how hellfire has different punishments and different levels. The more evil you get, but that, see, listen very carefully. It's better you just keep things the way they are and only take out the evil, right? Such as stripping and filthy things like that. And then, right, and separate people in bathrooms and give them privacy. We're human beings, right? Just common sense. You take out the evil, the fact that, right, people just sit there all day at a jail. There's technically no punishment. They get to just chill and sleep all day. It's better because God will still, right, punish them severely in the next life for the ones who truly need to go to hell, right? It's better you keep things this way when you don't have enough guidance from, right, God sending you his knowledge through scriptures and prophets, right? It's better you just stay this way and just keep things at this logical level. And if you add anything else, it's sort of the same logical level, and not go to things like, let's torture people. Let's actually, because murderers are so evil, right? Don't use that sort of healthy mentality of righteousness of wanting to, right, torture a human. It's still punishment. Let's not call it torture, right? Because torture is more like immoral, right? You want to like beat them up and like sort of cause them physical injury because they raped someone, killed someone. You're right. That's actually how things would have normally been. No one's gonna just shoot you and let you go easy, right? I know, but do we live in the next life? No, we live in this earth. Evil therefore rules. Technically, evil is always here, even if it doesn't rule. You and I are doomed. At some point, innocent people are going to go through that horrible stuff you think you should do to the transgressors that we all agree deserve it. I know. But to protect good people, when they get into those situations, sadly, they get accused. Demons, you think they're going to let you go? You create just places. You make things really severe in punishment for wicked doers and humans who do things that, right, it's just mistakes, right? Like maybe they just miss the traffic stop. I don't mean like they're trying to kill people and they're driving fast, right? I just mean like human error, right? It's all about intention, right? You obviously give them less punishments like that, right? You have to arrest them. I believe people like that should do something else. Stop taking people's freedom away for everything, goodness. It's not even, how did you even punish them by taking them to jail for one day and then they come out the next day? It's so dumb, you know? Do things that would actually make them want to not do that again. And for those who made a mistake, what would exactly help them? See how rational that is? This one is a mistake. So create systems that it's like it helps them not make that mistake again. So it's like you build the road in a way where the road won't even let them, right? There's like they have to fall into some situation if they ever forget, and now they sit there for hours and they think about it, and they won't have them like that. They'll think about it. And then the one who's actually trying to drive through traffic, they're forgetting, wait a minute, you're going to kill people that way, right? They're not always thinking about killing people, but you're forgetting. That's like, okay, like that. They're actually violent and annoying. That one, right? That type of evil, I don't mean the human, that type of evil, right, that enters a human. Okay, then you want to punish them, but you want to punish them in a way where then it's actually going to make them feel, yeah, you're being punished. Like that. It has to fit the intention of the person. So exactly, you don't want to punish people for things that you would say is not fair. The intention was normal, or the accident. By creating the same punishments, you're hurting the other side. It's not fair. Maybe it's their first time driving. All these vehicles, honking, beep. They rarely are patient with new drivers. That's what I'm saying, everybody. Like, your infrastructure is annoying. The way you build the road is literally meant to make people who are amateurs to driving feel terrible. You know? I've dealt with that. Don't be like, how come you seem to talk about random things? It's not random. I had to go through driving lessons and I saw what's wrong with it. And usually creepy old people teach you how to drive. You should put it into school. You know what you should do, everybody? Put a lot of things that you and I would say we learn as we age, as into adulthood. Actually put it into the educational system. Let nice teachers who are healthy people, who are trained and really good morality and They're not creepy weirdos. They are nice teachers, right? We grew up with. Let them teach us how to drive. Give them a job where some of them are asked to be drivers, not a teacher, right? Because that's their profession. Don't make them drivers. I mean, teachers of driving. But you're picking people with same characters, those ones. You know? Someone could actually love that. They could actually love a profession of teaching you how to drive. I know usually you would think it wouldn't attract good people then. It's probably going to attract weirdos. That's what you'll say. Right? Because it's not a profession, you know? Profession usually attracts healthy people. If someone's just sitting there all to teach you how to drive a vehicle, you're probably going to just attract just regular employees, and usually the creeps will, I know. But see, if you make it into a profession, if you make it into a classroom, a teacher actually teaches you in a classroom, and then everybody, let's go, yay! It was, that's all excitement when a teacher says, let's go outside, yay, let's go outside. Who wants to drive the first car? Me! Let them experience now. These high schoolers getting into this car. And there you go. It's fun for the teacher now. They don't feel like it's not a profession like math because they have a class. It's not you and them. Oh, that's creepy. That's also boring. But if there's a class, everybody, we make it into a class. Now it's fun. Sam, yeah. What happens when the person hits the blah, blah, blah like that? Oh, it becomes a classroom experience now. The teacher feels like they're actually smart in doing something with their life. They won't quit and be like, this is boring. I'm a human. I need to do some cool profession like be a doctor. This is like a doctor. You're really a teacher. There's a class. There's a team. You get to remember each other, have field trips, take pictures, send each other off to graduation. It becomes a beautiful memory. That teacher will feel like they're human and they have a team. Every day they're helping you. They don't feel like it's just them and some complete stranger every day. Okay, don't hit the brake because it's not so boring. And that young person won't feel uncomfortable if maybe the teacher is creepy. Right, everybody? I just feel like you humans are so smart. You have so much wonderful things God guided you to. But the evil within, the evil in this world, the toxicity, the desire to not want to make things better because you're not moral enough, limits you from doing these basic things that you could have all thought about on your own. A lot of the things I tell you could do better are things I promise you all thought about it in your own mind. I don't always teach you something extremely new. It's just what we're all created to think is better. You just can't think of it, right? And those who thought about it, you just can't think of it and try to act on it because exactly, this world is busy, loud, crazy, chaotic, and whoever could say, well, I'll be the policy changer, or I'll be maybe some politician or some mayor or somebody or some like that. Obviously, humans have always created new ideas. I know. I think then for that reason, for that situation, you're distracted. Let's say you're not distracted. You really want to go make a change. There's many businesses every day anyway. This is like a business idea, right? The reason, let me not go to another topic, is because then there's just evil. The governments will probably get in your way. There you go. That's how you know evil controls our government. Because they get in the way when you want to do something that makes this world better because they get money. They benefit from some part of the demographics of a country always sort of being on a lower class than the others, right? They benefit from a cop always being called to deal with crime. So they want crime, therefore. Do you agree? Can you believe how creepy that is? So they're going to make sure every system has weirdness. Driving schools have some weirdness. Have some situations where creepy behavior can happen. Weird behavior can happen. Discrimination can happen. Mistakes can happen. You may not get your money back as a refund. How dare you? Give me back my money. God put me in those situations too. Demons steal my money in hotels. They just might accuse me randomly and I have to leave sometimes on my own, right? Or sometimes they ask you to leave. They rarely ask me to leave, goodness. They sometimes would just threaten you with cops because, right, it's more of a extreme version of kicking people out versus just saying get out, right? They want to put you in jail. Okay. And I have to deal with not getting back my money. So you see what I'm saying, everybody? Demonic persecution for a prophet and me, it's like God is creating scenarios that humans are usually discriminated, harassed, sabotaged, bullied, right? It's just injustice scenarios. And they're usually the scenarios people rarely think about. It doesn't mean you don't experience it enough, to be honest. I think you experience it a lot. You just don't think about it. You forget it. Because exactly, when you go to the next hotel, no one's going to bother you. It's just, it doesn't happen 24/7. But for me, God made sure demons did it everywhere I go. Every hotel, they do the same thing. Because now I have to think about it. I have to tell God, what in the world? You know? Because this Marian, this person I am right now, could think about it. Because I'm obviously guided to know who I am and why these things were happening, and have to like teach me things that God is using to then, etc., etc. I get it. But that Marian in the past, when I'm young and I don't understand why everywhere I go, these behaviors are coming out of strangers, why there's constant harassment and hatred and envy and bullying and sabotage and theft, and what is your problem? Who are you? Why you seem like a character that you just keep coming back to where you come? Who are you? I don't get it. How do you know me? Like, how you identify me? Every hotel, every bus, every taxi, every Lyft, Uber, every bus, every train, even my own home. The neighbors go crazy. Wait a minute. How do you know where I had to figure it out? It was demons at some point. That's why you guys are going to have to figure it out the same way. For you, it's just not going to be demonic persecution, but you're going to see weird things happen. You're going to have to admit some external entities are bothering us. You can't just throw them off to religion and just talk about them only in the church. You're going to have to talk about them more comfortably like me. You know? Right? And yes, I told you 99 something percent of the human race is possessed, but then don't believe that I'm teaching you to then call people that way. Don't actually call people you're possessed. Don't say that to people. You see what I mean? Because you don't have the right to bring forth the fact that they're possessed. Just because I told you that. Don't say that to each other. Two, when you actually maybe, right, just really for the sake of argument, have seen something that either you maybe made a mistake and you thought they're possessed, or it really is a true time that you are being honest and that human really is possessed, and you saw something that made that obvious, then don't actually say it. You see what I'm saying? No matter what the scenario is, unless you guys are sitting together and people are asking you for prayer and they're saying, hey, there's demons in me, unless they're coming from a place of I need help, don't treat it like how we treat people of bad character, right? We can say to them, you're a bully, because they actually bullied you. It's different than when a demon manifested. Don't then be like, I just saw your demon. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You could mention the demon, be like, hey, you know, evil character obviously involves demons always working with you or possessing you. You need to repent like that. You can make it about repenting. You know, you can make it about them coming against demons and evil. But don't actually say to people, you're possessed. Because at some point, and I know they don't exist now, at some point, if righteous people were here who, for the sake of argument, are not possessed, someone, I'm the only one right now that I know that's not possessed, right? Because I'm like your prophets, right? It's not something I will ever have to deal with. But okay, just think about it. If really righteous, healthy people were here who don't really have a demon in their body, you're going to insult them, correct? At some point, the accusation would hit them. So that's another reason why God makes demons in the persecution, right? Accuse me and prophets of being mentally ill, which is just in back human history, it meant you're possessed. Because it meant you're crazy because you're possessed. So you see what I'm saying? It changed. Before it meant you're possessed, then the possessed started to be translated into you're crazy, but you're crazy because you're possessed. But then it started to get translated at some point into exactly, crazy doesn't exist, demons don't exist. You're just mentally ill. You have psychological stuff like that. It just keeps changing. But people can be possessed and they're not crazy. Get it? Because they just simply sin. Crazy really implies, right? Exactly, crazy. Okay? So even the word crazy is dangerous. Don't call people crazy, you know? Just, right? People actually are comfortably able to tell you they have some mental illness. We understand. But I had to suffer being accused of mental illness, and it's the most evil accusations to deal with. Because it's, right? You have to think, everybody. Maybe you guys are all sick in the head lately because you're all sinful and toxic. But I told you, someone close to God like me, it's a horrible insult. Two, it's very evil because, exactly, to me, I know that means possession. And I'm not possessed by demons. So it's very disrespectful because you're mocking my character. My character is the best thing about me. But you're not better than me in character. Because I'm an example for you in character. That's my blessing, you know? That's literally the difference between humans versus me. Humans versus prophets. We're righteous. Get it? You have truly done something dishonorable. You're just not directing it at me. You don't have the ability. The demonic persecution does that because God wants to show us in history people were accused of that who actually were righteous, who are not prophets. It's not really to help you understand prophets because for prophets and me, when it happens, it's not real. It's just so we learn who actually was ever accused of such a thing, the pain they suffer. Because it's not really us. It's actual humans who are not possessed. Maybe you were possessed and you actually, right, ask God to deliver you as a Christian or Muslim. You ask God to get the jinn or the demon out. You really gave up whatever sin that you knew was causing like that. And I'm not saying you cannot have a demon get out of you, goodness. They can get out. God can just help you. Okay. So you see, now it's an insult against you. If someone comes to you and says you're like that, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying we live in a time where that's not even an issue. Rarely you're accused of it, and you're actually not like that. You're all sadly possessed, you know? But in a healthy world, there would be half and half or something. There'd be more than half who's not possessed because they're just good character. They just don't do those types of sins like that. A demon just irritates the hell out of you, but they are not possessing the body. Okay? So you see, just because that sort of world is not here doesn't mean God won't let me see that type of evil that happens to people also. He'll still put me and prophets in that situation of being accused of something that some people in history never had as an issue. Just because they don't exist now and a lot of you are possessed doesn't mean God won't let us experience that. Because it's such a horrible thing to be accused of. He just wants us to see it. And there you go. You're gonna then ask yourself, why are those people mentally ill like that? You're gonna be curious. And then God will guide you. It's demonic, you know? Because religion is corrupted. And I'm being used to stop the corruption. So it's like instead of just telling me, God likes to guide me first, you know? Then actually tells me. And now you might be like, why did that happen? Because now I understand. I understand why it has to be a demon. I'm not going to have a hard time convincing psychiatrists and all these human beings. And they obviously know the stuff because they also possess too. They're not going to be like, I don't know what a demon is. There's a demon themselves. But you get the point, right? Just the idea. It's not hard to actually convince somebody, you know? Because I'm not just saying it out of my mouth. Oh, mental illness is a demonic possession. It doesn't exist. I'm not just saying it. I can prove it, you know? I can prove it because I observe humans every day. I can prove whatever you just did, whatever just happened, whatever that psycho attack on your mind was, whether you're healthy or you're really mentally ill, I can prove it is demonic. I can prove it that there's never a time that it's something else because humans do acknowledge demonic exists. But I can prove it to you it's always demonic. Basic fundamentals, right? The devil is attacking the human race. We're Adam and Eve's children. I don't know why you think we would have another attacker. Right? I don't know why you think we would have another issue in this earth. It's just those demons. Sick and tired of their existence. Oh my God. I need to stop this episode here. I'm tired as hell. I didn't even eat much today. I've just been recording episode after episode because I don't want 2025 to end with me having to make more episodes. I always desire that God won't make me make another episode the next month, you know? And now it's the next year, right? Because at some point the next month is another year that we're getting into. I just don't want to make any more episodes anymore. Please let me go, my Lord. Let me go. This is a burden anyway, right? You guys are going to have to listen to so many episodes. And I know it seems so long. I know the long makes sense because I have to explain something. If I was to just tell you, hey, everybody, this is sinful. Where's the evidence, right? I know the reason why episodes are long won't make you confused because, you know, I'm explaining things, right? And obviously religious corruption is here. I got to talk, obviously. I know, but sometimes I could have, who knows, accomplished it at a shorter level. It's because even though people are not bothering me physically, spiritually, I'm constantly under attack by witchcraft. You know, it's like the episode just gets longer and longer and it's so stressful. Okay, so I'll end it here. Obviously, there's so much to talk about, right? My podcast is not going to talk about every area of religious corruption or every area a future prophet could help you with. That's impossible, correct? Because they fix everything. You know what I imagine? Fixing everything, even the trees, even the way the infrastructure is built to detail, you know? That's why another wisdom for you. The world is not going to go back to swords and horses. That's dumb. We're advanced. If things get destroyed today, a lot of people in this country and in this world literally know how to build it, you know? Even if you and I maybe were just customer service employees or we were just nurses or we don't know what the hell that is, still human beings just, they just fit, and we have the internet. People can just learn how that building was built, how that car was made. Humans can just learn, right? From the internet, obviously. If we lose all the people who know how to build things. Come on, everybody. It's not really rational to believe swords and all that stuff. How humans used to be. No, that's weird. We're advanced. We're just gonna get more advanced, as you would assume. You know, just like Prophet Muhammad came, and we never went back to horses. Humans actually advanced further, right? Why would Mahdi take you back, or that time take you back? We're just gonna advance more, to be honest. We're just gonna get cooler. You know, I just think that sort of hadith in Islam just meant, right? Just everything will be destroyed. You know, the sort of infrastructure might be destroyed. One of it, everybody, could be more like the apocalypse event. Because I know in the Bible the rapture, right? But the rapture is different than the apocalypse. And I've seen dreams where God is showing me something similar to the apocalypse. You know, like more like the earth, like the pavement, like this ground you all drive your vehicles on, that type of pavement, right? Okay, something like that, just cut it into pieces. I literally saw that falling on people in a dream, you know? So I know the apocalypse example of sort of the buildings crumbling on human beings as punishment definitely is a huge possibility, you know? But I want you Christians to really look into Islam. And again, I kind of brought you all the important information from it to some degree, but just for your own record, right? Really study the end of the world signs. Really open your heart and mind to the idea that God might truly just be one, you know, and that it's not that complicated. Just like I tell you, I'm powerful. You cannot touch me. God makes you, right? I don't give you another reason. I tell you it's because I'm powerful. I tell you it's because I'm supernatural. I talk like that. It's not hard. It's not hard, everybody, to understand that your Lord could just simply say to you, he doesn't have a son because he's simply powerful. If it's okay for you to agree, one day in this earth, the supernatural humans like me exist who are so powerful, you cannot touch us. And only the times that we were young, that demons possessed you to bother me and arrest me, it's not you who did it. It's not your demons who did it like you, but your Lord made you get into a program where you're made to do that. So I learned all this stuff that gets into situations of injustice you all do. And then my job is to fix the injustice, and God wants to put me in the situation. Come on. You can respect such unique story like that. And one day when I become that supernatural high level, this episode, that supernatural high level version of myself, my true self, it doesn't mean this is myself and that's what I'll become. No, that's who I am. God takes it away from me. So I go through situations that I keep saying over and over again. What's the word I use? Fake. Okay. So for that reason, if one day you see that supernatural me and you're like, wow, you're right. I mean, I'm right now too, but just the idea, you know, you're gonna be like, wow, you're even more right. Then okay, God could have a simple reason like that too, that he's so powerful, he doesn't want a son, he doesn't want a daughter, he doesn't have such a desire. So you have to agree, it still has to be an intention, right? God doesn't want to. You know, so we're not saying if our Lord wanted to do, we don't know that stuff. We're not gonna insult our Lord. We're just gonna say that's literally what fits him the best. He's so powerful. He doesn't need and he doesn't want offspring and a spouse. That's creepy. Because think about it. That means either way he had to create them. See, that's another way you know it's not possible. Because even if God had a son, he has to create the son. Okay, so it's not his nature then. Because if it was his nature as a God, then he would have just produced the son. Just like humans breed and babies come out. You get married, a baby comes out. Okay, that's how then it should be for a God. If he has to create a son, if he truly could have a spouse or children, they would also be with him from beginning. And God literally told you, I know everybody, I know you don't understand. He literally said to you, he has no beginning and he has no end. Because we're doomed. If he began, right, that means there's a fake God who could end. Don't be like, he can just begin and not end, goodness. But I respect your questions, okay? I don't come to shut you down. That's why I make it seem as if you're questioning me. I want you to see it's a good thing to question. Your Lord obviously wants you to have a mind, ask questions, you know? See? I don't even know why I do that, why I make it seem as if people are questioning me and I answer you in this podcast. See, it's just the way he created me. My own qualities are created to also be an example of what I came here to do for you, right? I came to teach you to think, use your mind, be moral. So even just the things that seem just like fun to me, make it seem like you're asking me questions, fits the fact that I tell you, right? Ask your Lord questions, ask your prophets questions, think, use your mind. No one's gonna tell you to shut up. The shut up part is from shaitan or demons. See? So you see how powerful God is? Even when he designs someone to help you, they're designed that perfect in detail. I cannot do this. I just sit here, get on my phone. I use this app to record things, and I just talk. And there's so much distraction around me anyway. You know? I'm suffering, and hell no. I can't sit here and come up with all this stuff. Therefore, it's my nature. I was created this wise. I was already just created really smart. Okay? So I don't have to learn anything. I don't have to study, you know? God just needs to guide me to what he thinks. I know how to then just explain it to you very well. Because the ability to explain it so well, what he taught me, is already built in me. It's the intellect. The intellect is too high because it's supernatural. I just need to know what God said. I just need to know what he's not like. I know how to explain it to you very well. Because you might be like, okay, fine, God told you something. But how do you explain? Where did the knowledge to explain so articulately come from? No one lectured you for 20 hours. Exactly. So that's your evidence. God can just create someone with the brain that can do that for them, right? You just need to know what to then do with the brain. Like, here's your job. And then you just know what to do from there, like that. If you had to be told how to think, what? You know? Like, who? Is an angel going to come down and talk to me for 50 years? See what I mean? God can do many things, obviously. I'm just saying. Do you see what I'm saying? He's awesome. He's a great God. He just created me with a system, you know, like the brain, etc. The system within me is like that, like a computer or something. It's just automatically going to do that on its own. I just need God to guide me to what he thinks. This part of religion that's corrupted. My brain knows what to do after that. I'll come up with 500 examples for you. And you're like, where did you come up with that? You know, how? Because I'm not learning the examples and the explanation, the wisdom part. You know, wisdom usually means you explain things very well, right? That part, I don't have to learn it. God already created me with it. I just don't know what he ever said in history, correct? I'm just like you. I'm born in this time. I don't know what my Lord said. So he guides me. Okay. And I already studied religion. So I at least know how to talk about information that you obviously can't talk about unless you know what religion is, right? But then the brain knows to just randomly talk about this topic, talk about that topic. And God then, created the brain to remind me. And sometimes that moment, right, he's actually reminding me in a more like direct way. So exactly, get into that topic, get into this topic, get into that topic. And sometimes he uses demons. They just drive by me. They just walk by me. Maybe it's something specific, like a description of that person, like their race, ethnicity. Maybe it's a cop, like that. Have you noticed, everybody, if you've been listening to my podcast? I sometimes tell you a cop drove by, and I randomly talk about government corruption. It's not because I actually wanted to. That was a wisdom. God put something in the car that would make me, or put something in my mind that would actually, no, it's probably in my mind, sorry. God put something into my mind that makes me want to all of a sudden talk about exactly that sort of idea that he wants me to talk about. That's related to the cop that just drove by me. The cop doesn't know nothing. They just drove by. And there are times that it's just part of the demonic persecution. They just possess, they just drive by me all day. Okay, but since nothing is directed at me in prophets, everything is to learn something. That cop being possessed to drive by me and they look evil and crazy and never is gonna then make me be like, God, look at him. Look what is his problem. I don't. Instead, I get the point. You know? God is telling me something about that situation. You see what I mean? So that's how I'm able to get through it every day. Because before you're thinking, oh, what's all this bad behavior coming out of God's creation? What's wrong with them? Okay, but then when you get the point that their behavior is to get you to teach people stuff, right? Then when I see them again, exactly. Now I actually try to see sometimes why they even appeared. Because the others are just generic situations in life. You know, people just driving by like that. Okay, but they're not really a normal city driving by, just so you know. These humans are picked by God. You know, there's specific bad people who are possessed all day to just drive by all day, walk by all day. So, see, they're being used to then show me something I need to talk about. And as I record episodes, a supernatural thing that always happens is they're listening to me. And another thing that Islam will teach you as non-Muslims is that prophets are also prophets for demons. You know, they also, you know what I mean? Christianity kind of believes demons cannot repent and change, but Islam kind of talks about how it's possible that, you know, the message can be given to them too. Okay, so I believe it's possible. And for that reason, when I make episodes like this, the whole city goes quiet. It's like a gentle, soothing, you know, song or something. I swear by God's name. God's name is great. I should never swear by his name unless I know what I'm talking about. Do you agree? You should be careful. I swear by God's name. Either it's the humans on some unique subconscious level at the same time, or it's just the demons. But 100% I know the demons. They're listening to me. As I make these episodes in public, I'm just like hidden away from their sort of environment. You know? Just some living being is listening. And they're very respectful. They're very obedient when they listen. The vehicle has good energy, gentle. Because what do I mean, right? That they look good energy. If you tell me to just make it blunt and one word, obedience. See, versus listen. Someone can listen. That doesn't mean that, right? No, they're very obedient to me. Very obedient. It's just God who puts me in a program where they're as demons being used to show me what evil they've done in this world. And they use humans and animals and pests to show that. You know? If you focus on that, you're going to think it's some poor little person being persecuted. No. God sent them. You know? God sent them to show me what evil they've done here. But they're so obedient to me. They're very respectful to me as demonic spirits. Okay? And as humans, animals, and pests. So in some unique supernatural place, many times they either say thank you to me, they say pray for me, they tell me what they're feeling that day. Sometimes I swear by God's name, we have some communication. You, human beings and the spirits, you are always communicating with me. You're always asking me for help. When I make episodes like this, it's like you're actually listening to me like some prophet. And you all, you know, it's like you acknowledge the person that way. God actually maybe told you who I am or something. And you get me, you're actually following the person or something. That is that same feeling. Everyone is listening. Everyone's quiet and respectful. They're driving peaceful. It's so nice. See, if I open my eyes, if I sort of focus on this moment, I truly look around these vehicles. I actually judge them because there's still witchcraft and evil and all that stuff, right? If I sort of judge it, then it's like they manifest. You see, it's like I've noticed that about this program. If I sort of look away from the human and the demon, it's like they can relax. If I look at them, they manifest. You know why? Because the program is created to always make them do the same thing. It's like a robot. You know how a robot just does the same thing? That's how the humans and the demons are. It's like they're stuck in a cycle. So when I truly forget them in that way, but I use my peripheral vision, I'm still using my eyes, I'm looking in this road as I record this, like that. That's what an absent way you talk to people. Then they become, it's like it helps them. They become absent. So sometimes one thing I've actually done, that I know prophets have done. And I want you guys to know it because it's really not funny. I have to pretend to be different. I always pretend. I pretend to be absent. I pretend to not see something. I pretend to not know something. Right? Because humans are possessed. It's a program, they're stuck in it, you know. I have to see what's wrong with them. So I might go to a store and I want to ask the cashier a question. I know that demon wants to take over them and act inappropriate. You know, because that's just how they are. They're just stuck like that, okay? So I have to change my sort of, I wouldn't say personality, but right, you can say something like that, but it's more like I'm just being covert. I'm not changing who I am. It's like, excuse me, do you know, like that? Even though my voice is not like that, my voice is very deep and aggressive. I have to change it. Excuse me, sometimes like that. I have to change it. I have to speak in a way where the human doesn't get scared. You might be like, scared of what? Because I'm supernatural, get it? If I ever sort of forget that I'm so-and-so and I just sort of, miss, sir, you, hello, if I just say anything, they get startled, they shake the hell out of, you know. Okay, everybody, like, how can God create you to not sense something if it's there, or sense someone if they're there? You're just blind of me. Anytime I'm really absent, you see why I'm always being made to become aware of them, because the awareness is God's way of making me learn something and making me get out of myself. If God doesn't make the program make me distracted and aware, right, hyper aware, I swear by God's name, no witchcraft, no program can make a human misbehave around me. My eyes change, my facial expression change. I look like the most scariest person you've ever seen. My face actually changes. My eyes actually change. I look really scary, like a supernatural being. Okay, I'm highly aggressive. I'm not human. Okay, so it's like constantly. That's why the program is usually mental. Just thoughts, feelings, thoughts telling me just what the program is doing. You know, they're feeling this, they're feeling that. The cars, like, it's just telling me all day what's going on. I can't just ignore them, because if God doesn't do that within the program, right, how He created it to do, then I don't stay within the fakeness. I don't stay in this fake nonsense and continue to act fake myself. Just pretend to be some random ghost walking by people, you know. I will truly act like myself and people are going to get scared. You know what I mean? So that's actually how God protects humans and demons from being scared of me. So even though you're blind, God puts power into you to do things you normally cannot do towards me. Right? It's His power. It's fake. It's not you or demons. That doesn't matter. If I ever flip to just being me, if I just get a little absent, my mind just literally forgets what I'm used to see. I swear to God, you're all gonna run. Every vehicle will stop driving. And I'm not trying to say that to be arrogant. You're extremely scared of me as a creation of God. So don't go there with that nonsense. One of the biggest things I came to do is tell you your prophets are powerful. And I'm similar to them. Hell no. Are humans actually persecuting us and bothering us? God is making these things happen. Because look, all it does is teach me all this stuff. If it was a victimization situation, I'm being victimized or something, what the hell am I learning? I just tell you I need help, everybody. Help me. It's fake. They need my help. God wants me to understand human beings who are victimized in many situations of injustice. He puts me in it. At some point, that you're going to do something that you cannot do to a powerful being like me. I always mention the arrest because it's the most irritating thing I've ever seen. God put me into. Because when you arrest somebody, you're touching them. See, I could care less about the arrest. Let's go to jail. I just hate the touching part. You know, it's an act of some sort of fake dominance, you know. You cannot arrest a supernatural being. Do you agree? You're human. You're flesh. These people are supernatural. They're created by God. How could you arrest them? It's fake. God puts me in it. And another way God proves that to you is that it's not a power humans have when I'm younger. So just a few years ago, a human being could never be possessed to touch my shoulder and say, excuse me. so that then their demons hope I beat the hell out of them and go to prison. No. Just a few years ago, people could not get possessed to say something bad around me. Just a few years ago, a cop was never possessed to bother me. They would avoid me. Okay, so it's fake. Also because gradually these abilities come out over time. That means that's not who I am then, right? God gave you the ability all of a sudden because I need to go through that suffering. You'll lose the ability because that's not who I am. That's not who I am. Almost every day, versus I would say this year, when I truly focus on spreading God's message now. I focus more on Him now, what He wants me to do. When I was younger, all I ever did was tell God I'm powerful. I'm powerful. I'm powerful. I'm not human. I'm a third creation. I'm an authority over your creation. How can they do A, B, C? That's all I said. And I'm just a young person. I always know who I am. I know I'm an authority over you. I am not human like you. You cannot put me in a box of a gender or anything. Don't go there with me. That's how your prophets are. They're like Adam. You would agree Adam truly is an authority over this species. He's the father. Like that. It's like we're that Adam returning every time. It's not rational. You'll believe that with your own eyes when Mahdi arrives. But for the past humans, I just want you to please see how irrational it is after all the wisdom I've given you to not see God is using me to guide you. Your prophets are that powerful. You might be like, I get it. I truly respect what you're saying. It really sounds reasonable. You're so wise. You cannot be like us. Okay. But then I want you to acknowledge, and that's why you got corrupted into thinking they're God's son or daughter. Because there you go. Like, wow, you're that powerful. God calls you an authority over His creation. Wow. That's a lot of power. It's easy to say that they're His son then. I just want you to see what I deep at the end of all this, deep in my heart, really hope you then connect it to. Just see that definitely is why you got corrupted to thinking Jesus is a son of God. Because we're really powerful. Just these few years of persecution that God made, that is fake as hell. See, even when I say fake, I make it seem funny. Fake as hell. You're going to laugh probably, right? Because that's how I protect myself. I don't even speak seriously. It's fake as hell. That's how I raise my voice. Psychologically, I'm always protecting myself. Because this stuff is damaging to the human brain. This is not who I am. You cannot act evil around me as a creation of God. I don't care what your species is. So God, angels are more powerful than me, obviously. I just mean the ones here. Spirits and humans. You can't do nothing. All of a sudden, I wake up and some demon pops out of the blue, possessing some weirdos who used to run away from me yesterday. Now they're possessed to be like, excuse me, excuse me. And just what? Where did you get this power from? Just yesterday you were running away from me and I wasn't even this powerful supernatural person. Yeah, my Lord took my abilities away from me. But still, since it's me, right? Since I'm still me, I'm still that powerful person. Despite being in a program where God puts fake powers into you don't have, you're still scared of me? You still cannot touch me? You know I'm going to kill you even though I actually would not literally kill you. You're running? You shake the hell out, I go run some. Wait a minute. What does that mean if I actually became my true supernatural self? Exactly, everybody. So no one is going to act crazy when Mahdi arrives. No one's going to act crazy when Jesus arrives. These stories of them being disrespected, harassed, persecuted, chased, there's no such thing. It's these situations I'm telling you right now where demons are being made to possess them to show me areas of injustice in this world so that God uses me to help you, right? At some point it seems like a dangerous situation, right? Because you're getting arrested, right? It's those situations where I'm safe, it's okay. It's those situations before you become whoever you're supposed to be that demons are running with and corrupting and making it seem like it's when the person actually ascended to heaven, came back, became a cool prophet, as if then you could still, what? You cannot do these things, and these things were never even directed at them, And the one that they're talking about, which is right, extreme and higher level, that's fake. It's over. Take care of yourselves.